The best pizza sauce for homemade pizza is the pizza sauce you want to put on your pizza. If you want the best pizza sauce to buy or the best pizza sauce recipe, I've got you. I'm Heather, and I want you to feel confident and be able to make this recipe your own while having fun in the kitchen. There is a difference between pizza sauce and like marinara sauce or spaghetti sauce. Marinara spaghetti sauce, you cook down, you reduce the tomatoes, the onions, the garlic. Sometimes you put a little hamburger or sausage in there. That's what our spaghetti sauce or marinara sauce is. The difference is that pizza sauce is not cooked. It is using purely fresh ingredients. The only time that this sauce gets heated up is whenever it goes into the oven for like a second. Well, 5 minutes or so, but still, it's not the same thing as like reducing the sauce down over hours. Completely different taste. So if you've been buying marinara sauce for your pizza, that might be why it doesn't taste quite right. The best pizza sauce to buy, in my opinion, is Rayo's. But I would encourage you to experiment and try different pizza sauces and see which one you like the best, or even try your hand at making your own, which is what we're going to be doing today. You can use this pizza sauce for margherita pizza and as the base for most pizzas. Let me show you how I do it. Pizza sauce is basically Italian salsa. So it is made out of purely fresh ingredients. So we won't be cooking this sauce down. The only time it will be heated is once it's on the pizza dough. So we want to do what we can to intensify that tomato flavor. For starters, when buying your tomatoes, make sure to smell them. Yes, smell them. You want the most tomatoey smelling tomatoes you can find. Once you have your tomatoes home, cut them in half and scrape out the seeds. I'm putting them in this colander, so when I salt them, the water has somewhere to drain. I'm only keeping the tomato pulp to put into the compost, so you can skip that step. Once you have your tomatoes sliced, cover them in salt and let them sit for 15 minutes or so. I left a tomato slice unsalted so I could test the difference. Let's try one of these salted tomatoes. Truly an excellent flavor. Very tomatoey, salty, tangy, sweet. And then let's try the unsalted tomato. That's absolutely nothing in comparison. So next then, I'm going to take our salted tomatoes and puree them. And then we're going to compare it to tomato sauce and see which one's better. I was curious, so I also tasted the water that drained from the tomatoes after covering them with the salt, and it tasted like salty water, zero tomato flavor. I'm gonna taste the homemade tomato sauce that we made against store-bought tomato sauce. Here is our tomato sauce that we made right here. Very salty, which makes sense. I did put a lot of salt in there. Definitely has a mouthfeel because of all the different pieces of, it's not puree. Still very tasty though. And then let's taste the tomato sauce from a can. Look at that color. I mean, it tastes so traditionally like tomato sauce, which makes complete sense because it is what I'm used to whenever I'm tasting tomato sauce. The pizza sauce we're going to be making needs tomato sauce, and there is no rule that says I can only use one or the other. I can use half and half and maybe get the best of both worlds. One of the big differences between the canned and homemade tomato sauce was the consistency. So I drained more of the liquid out using a mesh colander. I don't think this step is necessary. I just was trying to get to that pure tomato flavor and silkier texture. I'm doing half homemade tomato sauce and half canned. I was extra and weighed it out. If you don't want to be so exact, just know we're looking for about 2 cups. To the tomato sauce, add tomato paste to finish deepening that tomato flavor. Add a tablespoon or 2 of oregano. Oregano is one of those spices that is incredibly necessary, and you might be surprised how much more you need than what you have added in the past. If your dish isn't tasting Italian enough, my first impulse is now oregano, and it helps 9 out of 10 times. To the oregano, add a couple of tablespoons of Italian seasoning, then a teaspoon of onion powder and a teaspoon of garlic powder. Because the onion and garlic won't have a chance to be cooked down, the powder will work better to not overwhelm the sauce. If you want to mince up garlic and onion really fine and put it in, I am a garlic girl and will cheer you on. Then add salt and pepper to taste. After that, try the sauce. Then add in a teaspoon to tablespoon of sugar and try it again. The sugar takes the bite out of the tomato while accenting its sweeter side. Then go to town fixing it up to your specific taste. That way your pizza sauce can taste the way you've always wanted it to. It took me another couple of moments to get it tasting just right for me. A hint when putting pizza sauce on pizza: start with a tablespoon and work your way up. You're not going to need a lot, and you don't want to make the dough wetter than necessary. I ended up adding more oregano, garlic, and sugar for me to really get it on point. I would encourage you to make it a day ahead if possible. Giving the sauce a day really helped all the flavors come together, and it was a lot better the second day than the first. I know I put a lot of work into this sauce, and it is really good. I have to tell you though, I think that Rayo's might be better. Sometimes you do put in all of this effort and work into making something, but somebody has already perfected it. The look on my friends and family's face when I gave them this pizza and I told them I made the sauce was priceless. I would still encourage you to make your own sauce and see what your favorite is. Maybe you can tinker around with it until you get to that perfect favorite for you. And as we all know, the journey to your best sauce starts with a bite.